forever. I think mine is up to 40 years now. 40 years of knowing somebody, which is really, really awesome. And she asked me to introduce her this morning, and so many images came to mind. If you guys stop for a second, you have those same images in your mind. And I'll tell you what, my first Hanley sighting was in 1974. 1974. We had waited our turn to play against her because we had the one court. And we had the brown paper bag that we had to sign our name on. And we waited and waited to play against her. And then we walked out there and we lost 15 to nothing. And you know what, you guys? That's just how it was in those days. You waited your turn and you lost and you sat back down. We've all played on this court, this court right here, at least 1,000 times. And all of our footprints are embedded in that court. Our heart is embedded at this beach. This is our beach. This is East Beach, and we love it here. Hanley and Gregory, they dominated on this court for so many years. I don't even have a memory of how many years it is. Here's Kathy, and she'd stroll up with her Australian Shepherd. You guys remember the Australian Shepherd?
I'd rather not fight it.
Kathy,
had to say it.
Speech.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Come on now.
Little sidebar.
Finally.
She'd bring her Australian Shepherd. She'd bring her big blue umbrella. She'd have a water bowl for those beautiful dogs, and she might bring a ball. We're not sure. The court was so much bigger. There weren't any antennas. The sun was hotter. We never brought water. We didn't wear sunscreen. We didn't have a hat. That's just the way we did it. The side-out games were to 15, and they took forever unless you were playing against Kathy and Kathy. And that was just part of what Kathy liked about the game. She loved winning. My own father would say, that girl loves to win. She was always a grinner, like she is right now. And she loved to wait for her next victims. Right, Kat? Yeah, don't let her fool you, you guys. Furthermore, she set the East Beach fashion standard of the time. You should have seen her bathing suits, and you can see how beautiful she is today. Her job was to play with Gregory. So everybody just get that in your mind. She needed to set perfectly. She had to cover on defense.
Everything.
She had to serve middle aces. She had to yell at Gregory. And then she had to put up with being yelled at by Gregory all day long. Am I right, Gregory?
It's true.
And not only that, she had to put the ball away every time.
Well, not every time.
Yeah. She played the left side.
Keep it in, though.
And those of you that play volleyball, you know all the choices you can have when you're playing the left side. So her choices were the extreme cut. If you know that cut, raise your hand. Okay. She also had the deep middle, the deep cross, the short in front, the deep line. And if you took any step in any direction, she'd do the opposite thing that you picked. And it happened time and time again. So we all had to know what our job was. We'd walk out on the court, we'd play our game, we'd leave the court, we'd sit down, put on our sunscreen, and wait 2 more hours to play. That's just how it was then. Kathy's name may be on the Manhattan Pier, you guys. For winning 2 of those opens, am I correct that you won 2 of those opens? 3 of those opens. 3, you guys, 3 opens. Right. You know what we have? We have an entire court dedicated.
That's right. This is better.
So I'll tell you what, that is amazing, and we proudly claim her as our very own.
Yeah.
I want to also thank all my friends and family that are here, some of my coworkers, Tristan, Casey, Rob, Shelley, some of my fabulous students, Matt, Mike, where are you guys? Yay, thanks for coming down here on your bikes, it's so great. And Linda, my sister-in-law, Jill, and the love of my life, Randy, holding Milo. Where is Milo?
Right here, front row.
There you are. Thank you for being here, everyone. And thank you to the Friends of East Beach for this fabulous honor. And thank you for preserving the courts. That's one more one of the most special beaches on the planet. This beach is, if you've ever played volleyball in other places, there's no other place like it, I think, in the world. Not that I've played too far around in the world, but it's better than any I've seen. And I really thank you for the honor. Yesterday I drove a couple of my students to a bus stop down the way. We're catching a bus to Ventura. And I thought, I'm just going to drive a little bit further and see if it's going to be this court. So I came down here, and I was happy to see was this court, because this court means the most to us. It's where I learned to play. This court, it's where I got to play with Kathy all those years. This is the court where we started playing in the mid-'70s, and like Len said, I think this was the only court. And in the beginning, there was just Kathy and I and one other girl, Hillary Johnson. There was only 3 of us. We had to recruit my little brother, who was 8 years younger, to be our 4th girl. So we played a lot of games with just the 3 of us and John. And then later on, there became 4 more girls started to play, and that's still the only court. And that's when Len talked about, there was a list on the pole, which is not as nice as this pole, but there was a list, and if you lost, you had to put your name on the bottom of the list and wait to play. Kathy and I again. Yesterday, when I came up, it was so great to see 5 courts of women play. 5 courts, and a 6th court with some 6th graders, some young girls learning to play, taught by Jorge. Thank you for preserving the game and teaching all these young girls, George, wherever you are. I've been lucky enough to play volleyball, like I said, all across the country, to play tournaments, but it's this court on this special beach that means the most. And thank you, Friends of East Beach, for dedicating a court to Kathy and I, and especially this court, because this court means the most. And this is an honor I know I will cherish for the rest of my life. And it's the biggest honor I've ever received. And thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I've been blessed my whole life to have the opportunities to live here in Santa Barbara for 38 years, to coach at a great university, to meet so many people. But the best thing is it's not even just the winning. It is the people, and it's the atmosphere, and it's the soul of this game. First, I'd like to thank Nancy for coming up and tell you what a great player she was to play with. That girl has the will and the heart of a tiger. That girl is the funnest person I've ever met. We were in Florida. She got me to go to Florida in Clearwater. She said, "You got to come. There's $1,500. Come on, you got to come." Oh my God, $1,500? I'm on there. I'll get the play. I'll do it all. So we get out there and we start playing. We win our first game, and the next minute a thunderstorm comes and the lightning comes like within 3 feet of death. I never moved so fast on the court. And I said, "Oh my God, I got to find Nancy. I hope she's okay. I hope she's all right." I went up to the hotel and she goes, "Oh God, am I having the greatest meal right now? It's unbelievable." I said, it was the greatest, and we won the Clearwater tournament, the first big money, and she's just the funnest, most competitive player that I've played with, as well as Kathy. What an opposite. The silent assassin, that's what I call Kathy. The silent assassin. She took no prisoners. She gave 100%. I was relentless on her, as you know, but she has such a winner and such a caring person. And as I said today in the article, this friendship that I have is going to last for life. This is what it's all about. This will be nice to see, but I tell you, anytime she needs me, I'm there, and vice versa, and that's what it's all about. But again, I'd like to thank all of my friends that came, are here, and the university, and a couple of the coaches, because I know how hard it is. But I want to tell you that life is about no regrets. We played at the best of times. It isn't about the money. It isn't about everything else. It's about what you had. And what we have here is a relationship with so many people. You'd come down, first of all, to what Lynn said was true, but I'll add a little more. You'd be pressured out of your mind, getting up at 7:30. I've got to get there early. I'll be 5th winners. Oh my God! No one's going to beat me. I won't be able to play all day. Oh, there's no parking places. Are you kidding me? No, I can't stop and have coffee. I've got 27 winners. So then we get here, and again, I always get here earlier because one thing about Kathy, she is never on time. Never. I have to put it on her to get the court, as you know. And then you had to take your life in your own hands if those Australian sheiks didn't bite you as you walked on the court. How many times I was on the court playing and it was 12-12 and they go, get that dog off me! I go, Jesus, get me like a minute game. Okay, anyway, but those were the greatest stories of what it was like. And then, if you did lose, if you lost, you had nowhere to go but try to get somebody to play with you. Hey, how about me? I can play left. Hey, I'm up 2 winners. You're this. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to play with you. She knows. And then, oh, please, you play with me. I promise. I'll be here tomorrow. I mean, it's unbelievable what we had to do to have one court. But that's how much we love this game. We love this game. Now they come with their foursomes and their 200 balls, and they play. And they never shag the ball. They never break the sweat. And they go, this is volleyball. When we played volleyball, you went down to the tournament and you played double elimination. And when you win in that loser's bracket, it was hell. And they gave you 10 minutes to play, and you had to play the next game. My first win when I was 21 years old, just graduated from school, and I was playing with Lori Lewis in the Manhattan. And I think I lost the second round and had to go all the way to the loser's bracket through, and I played the finals at 7:45. I was in the finals, and Charles Sakeley, who's done so much for volleyball, he's not with us, and he's the greatest. He said, oh, I don't think we're going to finish it. I go, we're going to finish it. We are going to finish it. We are going to finish this. And they got cars in the parking lot to turn on their lights. And that is how we finished. And at 8:45, I was the proudest I've ever been. And so once again, it's not about material or how much money you have or what your status is. It's about the kind of relationship and what you do every day, and you have a passion for it. And that's what drove me and still drives me to this day, because every day I have gratitude and appreciation. Right now I look at Brooke Rundle, who is one of the greatest players that ever played in Santa Barbara. She came from Nicaragua, and I want to tell you, when I was recruiting Brooke Rundle, there was another tall girl that was 5'11", 6 feet, and there was Brooke that's only, what, 5'4", Brooke? 5'5". Okay, that's right, stretch it out. Anyway, and so everybody said to me, how are you going to pick which girl? They're both great players. And you know why I picked her? Because this girl drove from the valley every weekend to these sand courts. She'd be all my girls sleeping and hung over an IV and got out there, and she played her heart out. And I said, size, she's 8 feet taller than me, and she never disappointed me. The best years of my coaching is because of her. Lynn is an inspiration to everybody here. Lynn tore her ACL. Lynn is not the tallest player, so sometimes when you play with her, she got all the serves. So I'd say if I played 10,000 games, she's played close because she's had to receive every serve. She loves the game. No one plays it harder. No one is a better person, and you have always been an inspiration to me. To all of those that play on this court, all you women that are here or anyone, I ask you follow a couple of principles, all right? Number one, we do not have the 20 balls out on this court, all right? You play with one ball, and if you hit it out, you have to go on the side change, you go chase it, all right? Number two, when you step on this court, you play like you love this game. You talk to your partner, you tell a great shot, you celebrate, and you have